Hello, everyone, and welcome to this recording of the digital transformation speech we gave in Cologne in June 2016. Here's the title. It's a long one, I know, but the aim of it was to try and shine some light in a very open, transparent manner to some of the issues facing companies, particularly those in Germany, but across Europe, trying to find a digital strategy that means something to them and customers and to their employees. How do you go about it? Where do you start? It's a big question that everyone at the conference wanted to know and ask about. Um, my aim was to communicate a personal view on getting through something that, about avoiding the language used by all the consultants and the insiders, which I feel is very meant to exclude you and make you feel like an outsider in issues that I think are very global, straightforward, and simple around formulating something that means something to your customers in digital. And I want to talk openly, honestly, and inclusively. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't use any case studies by Apple or Uber because I've sat through lots of those. It gets a bit boring and didn't want to touch on it. My job is to have empathy with the audience, be one of them, as I often am, and think like they think. And in communicating today, I want to practice some digital storytelling skills, which is not selling, but it's sharing. Talk in an approachable way, use the language of customers, employees, users, about how experience with digital technology should improve the human experience. And it's not so much about the technology itself. Technology will inevitably be the tool, but we need to agree what the job is before we select a tool. I'm a big proponent of not jumping to solutions, but spending significant amounts of time on framing the problem to do it right first time, having looked at it in many dimensions, and this is not a new thing. I tried to pick as many European/German case studies as I could in illustrating my point for this conference. A great man said a great thing there. And every time, indeed, I hear about EU referenda, whether it's Trump or Clinton for the US presidency or steel tariffs in China, I think they would all benefit from some more time spent framing the problem rather than jumping to the solution. Thinking about the unintended consequences of jumping to that solution too quickly and picking the best or at least the least bad option. I get suspicious when very opinionated speak loudly about what must be done now. Time and again, I see a lack of time spent framing the correct problem is a problem in getting in the way of being able to chase the right goal. I wanted to touch on who am I and what I believe in getting your attention on why you should listen to me. I mean, I'm a Chief Digital Officer. I aim to present in the style of someone who listens. Tricky when it's just me talking, I understand, but I lead the design movement at NES, which is actually a technology provider working with partners on platforms and products for customers all over the world. But I wanted to share my personal point of view on, my role as being the customer-centric business side of the house, thinking what NES can offer by talking to customers about their problems in the world around digital and what would be a winning digital strategy for them. I speak with customers who mostly think any given initiative is about delivering business value, but often they don't necessarily think about the value that it provides to a user. And helping customers with their digital strategy always involves kicking around the concept, but speaking up on behalf of the customer. If we talk about digital customer experience, then I get to walk in the user's shoes, and I like to be comfortable in those shoes. I mean, as a digital customer myself, I expect a lot from my software. My digital experience across channels and devices, my expectation's high, and there are millions like me. So if you can provide a great person experience, it should be seamless and satisfy my challenge. It should show me you know me, which is a phrase I'm getting more and more used to about the way that your data suggests that your company is paying attention to the places I've touched digitally with my interactions with your company. And then I'll be impressed and stay with my friends. The next area, about what I do, meeting with CIOs and CMOs, fighting convention to get things done. I mean, there's history, right? There's form. The last 20, 25 years, the role, one side of the house is to get things done, get it done on time, keep costs low, get things done a bit more efficiently, deliver value to the business. And then maybe the CMO representing the business need is much more about revenue generating initiatives. These days, those roles are overlapping, and all these brands and businesses facing challenges from digital disruption, they need to work together closely. I think a lot of my role is about building bridges between these two camps who don't necessarily empathize with each other. And it's sometimes surprising how little understanding and empathy they do have. And often a friend and an outside perspective is all that's required to help get things done. And central to the digital transformation of NES, I'd like to say that we're a company doing it ourselves. Behaviours of the last 10, 15 years changing, getting feedback quickly, speaking to customers, measuring yourself against the competition. These are all traits of a digital company, thinking where you sit in the digital landscape. And my role is an agent of cultural change, champion of digital transformation everywhere I see it, and pushing to upgrade skills, viewpoints, and techniques of everyone in the company. We all need to get better to help ourselves learn, grow, and improve, and strive to improve. So the question, starting point, digital strategy, where do you start? Where's the best place to go? And depending on wherever your maturity is, you should be able to answer these questions. If you're mature, they're easy. But these simple, the W's, and then how do you go about doing what the W suggests you should do? I'm not going to read them out here, but understanding from the top as a business, where are you going, what you're trying to achieve, it's incredibly important. But understanding why you're trying to do it, you shouldn't be doing it just for the sake of it or because everyone else is. It should lead to some breakthrough changes, shifts in markets, growth, revenues, maybe a defensive mechanism, but there's got to be a real reason behind it. Everywhere you read, it's got to come from the C-suite, the need to do it. And it should be something obvious staring in your face. Otherwise, you're in danger of having your lunch eaten by some digital challenger. To back up what I said earlier, though, once you've established those reasons and agreed them all and decided on your plan of attack and your vision, there's always that moment for pausing for thought, reflect, analyze what you're about to do, because framing that problem and making sure we're in agreement is absolutely critical before you do anything about it. The how you do it, the rolling it out, the solution, the technology, the teams you'll need to do it is a separate issue. Wondering out what to do first is how to do it. And we're going to move on there to talk about the cross-functional team. More and more it comes up that this is an important, critical part of it. I love, and to quote Scott Cook of Intuit, who says, and I remember it well, how he framed it because I liked it, whenever there's a customer experience challenge faced by Intuit, they deconstruct it and a small business team gets to work. And the team is made up of a hustler, a hacker, a dreamer, and maybe a data guy. The hustler is the program manager. The hacker is the developer, usually, to help enact what this program manager is trying to get done. The dreamer, dreaming the art of the possible, would be a designer wired into the team and pushing the boundaries of what's possible and what the user expectation would be. And the data guy obviously is using facts around usage to shine a light on progress. That's not always a common, it's quite a modern feel of a makeup of a team, I think. Unusual chemistry required, unusual skill sets, but working together to get things done. That's a cross-functional team. We're doing that a lot inside NES. And I wonder how many others out there are doing it at the moment, because you do need a mixed team. And I'd like to say that the members of that team could be external. One of those team members could be a partner, a consultant. If you need to get those skills from somewhere, you don't necessarily have time to educate your own people or train your own people to do it. But wherever you do, you need one. And if you do have a problem and no one else can solve it, maybe you can hire. I made the joke, but I like to think these guys all had different skills and different roles in what they were doing to get things done.